Rob here with Alex from UNDEATH. And Alex, we're going to be looking at some of your favorite hangouts in New York City.
Yes.
And are you from New York City?
No, I mean, I'm from New York State. I grew up in Rochester, which is like on the complete opposite end of the state. But I was born in Sleepy Hollow, New York.
Okay.
Which is a very death metal place to be born. But lived about 30 minutes north of the city until I was 15 or 16, and then moved up to Rochester, lived there for a while. Went to school here for 2 years, back to Rochester, and now I live kind of in the middle of the state. So I'm a New Yorker through and through.
You're a New York Stater.
I'm a New York
You've been
Stater.
through it all.
Yes. I'm trying to 100% New York right now.
So you spent a lot of time in the city, from what I've gathered. And so we're going to go to some of your favorite spots. And of course, we're here to celebrate the upcoming release of your new album. Tell us about it.
Yes, this is the third UNDEATH album. It's called More Insane. It comes out on October 4th on Prosthetic Records. UNDEATH on steroids. It's UNDEATH on HGH. We're on that LeBron James hormone cocktail, where just everything is crazy. Everything is more insane than the last record. It's like the ultimate UNDEATH death metal experience. I don't really know how to sell it better than that.
Where did you guys record it?
We recorded it with Mark Lewis in Nashville.
Nice.
He's the man. We met him at a show in Birmingham, Alabama, and we just clicked immediately. We both have very similar juvenile senses of humor. He just got what we were going for immediately, and yeah, we just knew we wanted to work with him, and I think he did an amazing job.
I bet. I can't wait to hear it. So we're at Old Town Bar, a pretty notable bar here in downtown Manhattan. Tell us why this is the first stop on your little tourist guide to New York City with us.
You know, this is kind of like a pretty personal spot for me. I mean, my parents, going all the way back to the 70s, I'm pretty sure they had their first date here because they both worked in Midtown and they met at work and they used to come here all the time. So there's some family history here too. You know, I know both of them kind of hold it in very high esteem, and I've been coming here for a while. I try to make it down here every time I'm in the city, whether it's on tour or just visiting or whatever, and it's just a great vibe. I mean, you'll see inside, like, it has changed very marginally since I don't know when it opened, probably a million years ago, but I'm pretty sure, like, the only real additions they have in there that are modern are, like, they have 2 tiny TVs on either end of the bar, but it's an old school spot. It's very OS, as the kids say. And they serve Ballantine, which is like, this is some OS beer right here. I don't know another place where you can get Ballantine, but that was like, they were a sponsor of the Yankees back in the 60s. You know, so that's some real New York shit. It's just like a spot that you chill, get a couple of drinks, hang out, mingle. It's just a very low key experience. I remember a good experience I had here semi-recently. We were in town. It was the last day of the Black Dahlia Murder Tour that we did back in like 2022. And we had just gone across the entire country. And the last show was in Manhattan at Irving Plaza. And me and Tommy just came over here and had a couple of drinks. And it was just nice it was a homecoming, you know? It was nice to be back in the greatest city in the fucking world.
I mean, I don't disagree with that one. All right, let's go inside. Let's check it out.
Drinking some Ballantines, dude. Cheers.
Oh, it's really good. It's very light. It's like a not terrible Coors Light.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the story with that one is that was like Pabst's like initial foray into the craft market. So Ballantine was kind of advertised as like their nicer beer.
Yeah, I can see it. I'm trying to place the flavor. Like it's like more bready than like, it's like a Coors Light or a Bud Light, but like elevated a little.
Yeah, I mean, I could easily see myself drinking 60 or 70 of these. Yeah. And not thinking about it.
All right, we're now here at our second location, Linda Street Pizza in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Of all the great pizza places in New York,
there are many.
End up in this one, yes.
Well, a lot of it came down to convenience because it's very close to the other spots that we're going to, so that definitely helped. They didn't want to make us walk around all day.
Yeah, one thing New Yorkers don't like is traffic, right? We don't need to be sitting around in a car.
It is just pure happenstance that I think 4 out of these 5 spots are in the general Bushwick area. But I mean, the main reason though is that this pizza is just fucking incredible.
Yeah, L'Industrie is a relatively new spot, but immediately climbing the ranks
Yes.
of best pizza in New York.
Pretty much some of the best pizza you can get around here. Like you said, it's new, but they were already kind of have like a reputation as being one of the more up and coming and contenders in like New York pizza. And it's just great. And we got the burrata half pie with the fig and bacon. Gotta eat good while you're here.
Yeah, let's get some sexy shots of us eating now.
Some very appetizing shots.
So as we're scarfing down these pizzas, what would you say are your top 3 pizza spots in New York City?
That is such a hard question. Off the dome, I'm gonna say this L'Industrie is in that conversation for sure. I'm gonna say L&B in Spumoni Gardens. That's probably number 1. And Rosa's. Rosa's has a few locations, but there's not one. There's one not too far from here. Yeah, I'd say Rosa's, L&B, L'Industrie. Those are my top 3. But that's the thing about New York is that if you don't even really need to look that hard. There's good pizza in spitting distance from basically wherever
Exactly.
you
The
are.
best pizza place is the one that's 2 blocks away from you. You know, like you don't have to go too far, like you said.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, there's a lot of talk about Connecticut pizza these days, and like I love New Haven style pizza. Like, got to put a lot of respect on that. It's great. Shout out to Frank Pepe, all that stuff. But like, let's be serious here.
Exactly.
Like, it's New York.
Where did it start?
Where was pizza invented?
New Haven, if you want to fight about it, go find him on tour.
Please don't.
To many, this is just a random black wall. Like, what is it? This is nothing. But to metalheads, we know this is the best venue in New York City. Where are we, Alex?
We are at the place next to the Acapulco Deli and Grocery, the most famous metal bar in the world, Saint Motherfucking Vitus Bar.
Unfortunately, not somewhere where a tourist can come right now. You can walk past it at the moment. It's currently under the bureaucratic fist of the local government.
You know, this even before UNDEATH had ever played here, this was already like a legendary spot. You know, if you're a metal fan anywhere in the world, I feel like this is kind of it's a pilgrimage. Like you want to come here. And, you know, I grew up in New York, but far enough away in New York State that this was kind of like a hike to get to. So I was kind of just waiting for the right opportunity to come. And the first show I ever saw here before UNDEATH ever came here was, it was like a Darkest Hour tour. It was them and like a million bands. I think like Rivers of Nile was on it, Rotten Sound was on it, but it was at Vitus, and I was down here. And it worked out, and I went to the show, and I couldn't believe how much smaller it is in real life. I was kind of walking around like, where's the rest of the venue? I thought it was going to be like 4 times as big, but still, it was amazing. It was just so cool to be here, and it's just a great room to see live music. It sounds great. You know, everybody who works here, George and everybody, they're pros. And yeah, and UNDEATH has played a lot of great shows here too. So one of the best like live venues in New York by far.
Absolutely, yeah. And it must have felt like a great accomplishment once you guys got booked and got to play here. It was like,
Yeah.
Like established we're on that level now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the first time we were ever here was in COVID. Like the main lockdown COVID times, as we were doing that live stream. No, it wasn't a live stream. We were filming like a VHS here. So it was like us and I think Stabbed from Long Island played and a couple other bands. Can't remember right now, but it was for like a Maggot Stomp live VHS tape. And that was the first time we had ever played Vitus, but it was to an empty room pretty much. So that was cool. But then the first time we ever actually played here was... we were a 3-piece still. Oh no, so we did play here before the COVID lockdown because we were a 3-piece, and that was like the first ever tour we ever did. But yeah, we played here a bunch of times since.
So an actual VHS tape, that's not like
a real VHS tape. Oh, he has it. Thank you, George. This is it. This is the tape in question. This is my band UNDEATH. We played here. There I am. This is when I wasn't buzzing my head. Vomit Forth, Mourn, Stabbed, Oxalate from Jersey. Yeah.
What's the run? This is a real packaging and everything. It's sealed.
This was a thing that Magasomp did in the midst of COVID. Yeah, originally aired July 16th, 2021. So this was a very cool thing. And played here many times since then.
Nice. What are some of your other favorite venues in New York to play?
Ooh, Brooklyn Bazaar was great. That is closed as well. This is just going
This is going to be a memoriam
it's
of
gonna be
great
a list of spots that no
New York
longer
venues.
exist.
Yeah, Europa was wonderful.
Death by Audio was sick. I mean, there are so many. That's kind of like a tale as old as time in New York, unfortunately, is that there's a great thing and the kids love it and it's just like a awesome spot to see music, but then the bureaucratic powers that be do whatever possible to destroy it in the name of real estate and greedy landlords. So it sucks that that is where city politics are, but unfortunately, it's just something that has happened since time immemorial. But yeah, lots and lots of great venues in New York that have come and gone.
Yeah, that's why you got to support your local venues because you never know when they get shut down.
Yes, 100%. I wish that I had been to a million more shows at Vitus. I wish we had played here a dozen more times, but I'm very grateful for all the opportunities that we had to come here because it always meant a lot.
Same here for witnessing shows. I always felt very privileged to be able to have such a great venue with people who care.
Yes, and great green room downstairs too. Vitus has always had like, so the green room is the size of the venue. It just runs directly
The entire
underneath the
basement,
whole
yeah.
thing. And there was a sword down there. I always thought that was cool. There's a bunch of couches. There's probably about 15 on death stickers down there on the ductwork. Yeah, love Vitus. Love this place.
We're deep in the heart of Bushwick at one of the best record stores in the neighborhood. We're here at Material World. You got yourself a bunch of vinyl already. Tell us what you got.
This is probably my favorite record store in the city. It used to be called Heaven Street. Now it's called Material World. Amazing shop, full of just all kinds of like freakish metal and punk and noise and power electronics and all variety of weirdo music. I always love coming here and always love spending money that I don't have here. It's one of my favorite places to drain my bank account. This is an album by a black metal project called Tra, T-R-H-A. It's a one-man project. This guy is like ridiculously prolific. I think he releases like 3 albums every 4 months. You know, it's crazy, but there's no dip in quality. It's all excellent. It's super out there, very like atmospheric in a lot of ways, but very long, very riffy still. Fucking killer music, and it came out. Most of his stuff comes out on Ixial Productions, which is a really killer new black metal label, primarily black metal. But yeah, Tra was really stoked to see this in person. Next, we got this Final Eclipse record. This is called Interminable Darkness. I believe this is also another one-man band situation. That kind of seems to be what I'm into these days, if you're sensing a theme here. I think this dude is from Jersey. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But just great death metal, super riffy, kind of in like the Eastern European style of very kind of dark and esoteric death metal. Really good shit here. Again, it's another Ixial release, so that's cool to see. We'll stoked to see that in person. And I think he actually just put out a full length last year called The Dark World, which was awesome. So that's cool. Yeah, and then finally I got this Venusberg Cardinal record. It's got a booty on it. a little risque. This is great. It's called Atlas of Dungeons. If you know anything about this project or these people, a lot of them were involved in the band Departure Chandelier, which is like, I think they describe it as Napoleonic black metal, which is kind of crazy. It's all about like Napoleon and like the, French politics and stuff like that, which I'm completely unfamiliar with, but it makes for good.
You're unfamiliar with it because there hasn't been a metal band to explore those topics yet.
Exactly. So thank them for doing that. And yeah, this is a lot of people in that band, at least one. And this recording was done, I believe, in the same sessions as some of the Departure Chandelier stuff. So yeah, Venusberg Cardinal, all 3. I mean, this is kind of shit that you would not really see in your typical used metal or new metal selection at a record store, and they got it here. So support Material World. Shout out to them.
All right, we're at our final location, a brewery.
A brewery.
The Kings County Brewery Company.
Brews Collective.
Oh, Collective. KCBC for short. Much cooler to say it
Yes.
that way. And this is very exciting. We're drinking an UNDEATH beer, your collaboration beer.
That is so true.
What a coincidence. You take us to the one place where you're doing a beer collaboration.
It's called cross-brand promotion.
Tell us about this beer that we're drinking.
Yeah, this is the Rise from the Grave Maibach lager that we made with I don't know if it's a lager, but it's a Maibach. We did it with KCBC for Decibel Metal and Beer Fest last year, and yeah, they've kind of like kept it rotating on tap ever since. So I guess somebody must like it, which is good.
So how did that work out? Like, did they contact you and you told them what kind of beer you were thinking of, or how did you pick what it would be?
Yeah, so I mean, when the fest was getting booked, I think it was Albert or somebody from Decibel reached out to us and said they were planning on like linking every band with a brewery that was also going to be serving at the fest to kind of like do a specific beer for each band. And they linked KCBC up with us because it's like New York brewery, New York band. But it was very lucky for me because I was already a fan of these guys. Like I love KCBC. I've been here a bunch of times. I mean, I bought their beer back when I lived up in Rochester. They're just great people, great beer. And yeah, it was just the rest is history.
Nice. And so what else can you tell us about KCBC? What should people expect?
You know, it's a very playful brewery, I want to say. You know, there's a lot of breweries out there that are, not that they don't take themselves seriously, because they do, and they make seriously good beer, but there's a lot of breweries out there that are very kind of highfalutin, I want to say. They kind of have auspices and airs about themselves, and KCBC doesn't really like that. You know, they're down to have fun, they're down to try wacky shit, and off camera, we just interacted with most of the people who own the place, and as you can tell, they're all pretty like laid back and cool people. So yeah, just expect a good time, I would say.
Yeah, and delicious beer. This is very, very crisp and tasty.
There you go.
So we're gonna get drunk. You probably don't need to see this, but thanks so much, Alex, for hanging out with us, showing us 5 of your favorite spots here in New York City. If you ever come here, you can check out any of these spots except for St. Vitus. But I mean, you can walk past it. Maybe someone will be there. You knock on the door.
You can pay your respects. It's easy to find from the outside. It's the nondescript black wall.
Yeah, easy.
Well, Rob, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure going around the greatest city in the motherfucking world with you, New York City. Mostly Bushwick, but
We dipped into the city.
we'll call it New York.
We got into Williamsburg.
Yeah, new Undeath record comes out October 4th. It's called More Insane. You can pick it up wherever you pick up music, listen to it wherever you listen to music, and come see us on tour.
I'll be there. Cheers.
Cheers, Rob. Peace.
Whoa.